see Tweakers. Tweakers is on there.
Tweakers
Deez
is fun.
David McAllister. Have you heard that song?
No.
Dude, it's got this haunting like
Wait,
snare.
Deez?
No, David Michael Astor. It's
Yeah.
got a part 1 and part 2. It's a solo Les Claypool, and it's got like this like marching drum in it. When you see it, like that's the song that Little John had the fucking heat exhaustion. I was like, I was
shit.
sitting in the crowd. It was so intense. We're tripping balls. It's like during the afternoon, and I touched his arm, and he was so clammy. He's like, I'm about to pass out. I was like, so as my friend, we're trying to get him out of the crowd. They're playing like the scariest song. He's got a Pinocchio mask on. I was like, dude, this is so
Yeah, that's a horror movie.
yeah, I was like, dude, oh goddamn, A24 movie in here. This is crazy. And Lil Jon was fighting us because he didn't want him to get put down on the piss wall. We're like, dude, you got to sit against this wall. He's like, people piss here. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, you're dying. You don't get.
Yeah. You got to sit in some piss if you're.
Yeah, you're done. You lost not having piss pants privileges.
To you, that's precious hydration.
Dude, the funniest part, I don't think when I've told this story to you before, I know, but the funniest part was as I was dragging him out of the crowd, he's so much bigger than me. And I'm like trying to find where I'm going to put my hand. I go to grab it and I'm like, oh, I'll grab his book bag. Then I'm like, I have a book bag. This motherfucker's wearing a Camelback. He's dehydrated with a Camelback.
Yeah, I think you did tell me that, but I definitely forgot
Tripping
it.
on mushrooms. Just like, dude, you're literally, you have life on your back.
That's crazy.
So we're here for another book
right.
review.
Yep. Book club. I'm just going to explain it.
All right.
We're doing a short story today.
Short
though.
story.
Yeah, so it shouldn't take too long.
Should.
Although, I mean,
Lord knows I'm going to derail it.
it is for sure. It is Isaac Asimov, and I think the setup might take a little while.
Okay.
Because Asimov sort of has this a thing like it's not uncommon in writers. I mean, maybe he was kind of doing it before a lot of people, because this story was, by the way, published in 1956.
Okay.
So it's OG Isaac Asimov short story shit. And this is kind of later in his short stories, honestly.
So where were is this a dumb question? Where were they publishing this? Like
U.S. Asimov has a very good like author introduction that I'm pretty like he wrote himself.
nice.
It might be in this, but it's so he has a very like Isaac Asimov was, because I think he was born in Russia. Maybe
That's why I was wondering, is it so it was circulated in the U.S.
Yes.
All right,
yeah,
cool,
he's an American motherfucker.
All right.
No, that's not. This isn't it. But there's a good like self description that he has of himself. That's very like he was unfortunately born in the Soviet Union, and he's very like, and he's like, by the grace of God, his parents moved him to the United States.
I
Like,
love that. Yeah, dude.
so
I feel him. I've been hitting
Yeah.
USA chants
Yeah.
in the chess chat.
yeah, I bet you have.
Dude, don't let me take one of your pieces. I'm hitting you with a USA chant.
Yeah,
Guy's like, dude, I live in Texas. You're like, even more.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
what is the
So-
short story? Which
So
one?
he has it's called The Dead Past.
I like this already.
But so the setup, Asimov kind of has like a lot of stuff is similar in a lot of his short stories, to the point where you're like, he almost has his
A theme?
like his sci-fi future world
Yeah.
that he
Oh,
and a
nice.
lot of these take place in that.
So he's building a universe.
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Which he's kind of one of the OGs, the foundation, kind of one of the OGs of doing that with sci-fi.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
Suck our dick,
doing it
Marvel.
way before everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a multiverse before Marvel ever thought about it.
He wasn't really multiverse. It's more of like, so iRobot.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote iRobot. It's one of the rare cases in the history of everything.
Damn, he knew
Where-
Will Smith.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm getting to is it's one of the rare cases where there's a book and there's a movie and neither of them are similar to each other in most ways, but somehow both of them are good.
He's like writing the book. He's like, later, a closeted gay
Yeah.
man will play play this lead role.
A cuck will.
He will stand from the cuck chair and assume his position as my future hero. So
All
I
right.
was like, all right, dude,
So Asimov's world. Let me break down
let's build a world.
kind of what I like because in the short stories it's usually Earth. Usually. Sometimes he gets into spacey stuff, but like a lot of it is Earth. But he has kind of this idea, Earth. He has kind of this idea. By the way, if you haven't looked up, if you don't know what Isaac Asimov looked like, you should look up a picture because you need to know that this is a chill ass dude.
All right.
Right
The
off
picture's
the-
right there.
You
on
know
the
what he
screen,
looks
baby.
like?
Yeah.
I mean, the sideburns of a god, this man. He one of the earliest guys to write about AI in sci-fi. He kind of had this idea where sci-fi or where AI would be basically this massive superstructure that's kind of like it has data centers, you could say.
Oh, no.
It has and honestly, I've never considered it in this modern I haven't thought about his AI concepts.
Oh shit! He called
Recently,
data centers.
He didn't call them data centers, but they were like hubs. And basically, the government was a tool to push out the not will of this AI, but this AI would coordinate people's lives. And it leads to this mostly peaceful, but there's
I think that's
there's
happening
cracks.
right now. Not to derail us early, but it's like I
Yeah.
do believe that they can target you with algorithms. I don't think we understand what the algorithms are, and I think that's where MK Ultra went. I don't think MK Ultra, dude. They just stole 40 boxes from Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
It's like,
So this is not quite that level. Ours is much scarier, I would say.
but
'Cause
he was hinting
he-
on that in
but he-
1950 something.
But he has
The internet wasn't even around. That's crazy.
Asimov when he's talking about this, it feels like is very this is a double-edged sword. We're seeing the sharp end these days.
Yeah.
Asimov in a lot of his stories, it almost feels idyllic in a lot of ways, where it's it's going good, and then there's some of the cracks of it. But the Dead Past, that's a little bit over set up. This is very centered on the academic scientific community and how that operates in this world, which is there is a concept, it's introduced pretty early on in the story, that is known as academic anarchy. So basically people, you go to school, you're like, I want to do physics, you get into physics, and then you find kind of the portion of physics, the sub portion of physics where you're like, oh, this is really what I'm liking.
Okay.
You go in and you do your post grad in that, and now you are locked in. Once you get a grant in a specific tree of physics, that's your whole career. You can't change it, and it's in fact looked down upon harshly if you even start to look into other fields outside of the one that the very specific one you've picked.
Huh.
The way that it's explained is kind of is basically specialization, how it's worked throughout history, and it's naturally that'll be applied to science, where it won't be your curiosity roaming. It'll be we're harnessing and pushing these human minds into these specific things, and really diving into it, because they describe it back in the day we knew almost nothing about science, so a dipshit with a rock could figure a lot out.
Yeah.
And now we know a lot about science. We need to plan out our endeavors into the unknown more carefully. That's the justification.
All right.
That's the important world we're in, is this academic world. And we start opening part of the story. There's a historian, ancient history guy, Professor Arnold Potterly. Sick name. By the way,
Sick name.
the names is one of the places where the era that this was written in shows.
Okay.
Because
Sick
Potterly,
name.
so Potterly is in a meeting with a guy named Thaddeus Armamin.
Rules, dude.
Yeah.
Thaddeus. Don't let me fuck around and have a boy.
So what Thaddeus
This
does,
is Thaddeus Butterfly Knife. This is Thaddeus X. What?
so Thaddeus is basically the pinnacle of research in a field called chronoscopy,
Nice.
time viewing.
Whoa.
So this idea that you can measure particles that are generated like light or sound or or not sound, but like there's basically you can map these particles that travel through time and you can get an image off of that. It's like a 50-year-old science. Potterly has a problem where he likes the idea that ancient Carthage were not as bad a guys as history says. So he's like, I want to just see a picture of it. I've been applying for the ability to use this machine for 2 years, and it's led me to talking to Thaddeus. And Thaddeus is, the top guy, and he's basically trying to make his case, hey, it's important for us to look into this for these, historical reasons. Like, you guys publish books about things that you learn from ancient history from this thing every month, and like, I think my research is worth being looked into. And he Thad just shuts him down. He's like, From here, it opens up. Potterly has been, through this process, pushed into academic anarchy or intellectual anarchy is,
nice,
I think, what
dude.
it is. Yeah.
He said, fuck that.
He's like, why? Like, I'm curious about this. It leads him to, and he ends up looking into this field of looking back in time. And he's like, it's weird. It's like it was discovered like 50 years ago, and then the government took it over, and there's been like no progress in this field whatsoever
he was
since.
On the pulse, dude.
So he's like, yeah.
There,
this is what he starts noticing this, and he through circumstance ends up meeting a new young physics teacher at his university, Jonas Foster. New young guy. It's like almost like happenstance when he first meets him, and then he's like, this is a physics guy. He might be able to help with my thing of like, they're hiding it from us.
Yeah.
So he meets with him one time at, I think, the university. Then he has him over for dinner, and like there's like a whole dinner conversation where he really sells him on this, like, they're hiding shit from us, man.
When you got to be like, hey man, why can't we translate the speeches?
It is funny now that I'm thinking about it. Like,
that's so funny.
It's funny that like this part of the story is a big bulk of the reading. Is like really breaking this down and explaining like the reasoning for like, no, they're hiding it from us, which I think is funny because I can summarize it so easily to you. Like in this day and age.
Yeah. I'm like,
I can just say they're hiding it from us. And it's just for every person. We're like, oh yeah, obviously.
Obviously, dude, the release Epstein files. Are you kidding me?
But like 1956, he had to make it clear that you had to be asking questions.
Yeah. He's like, you're not.
Like he had to put writing effort into explaining that.
Imagine the government doesn't have your best interest in mind. I know.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Imagine these politicians were lying. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm really connecting with this because I've been listening to a lot about like ancient archaeology, and boy, that's the same thing. That's like, dude, you can't pursue this because then my entire life's work is wrong. Like if you're right, then everything I've spent my life doing is wrong, and I'm not even going to let it happen. Yeah. 90% of the Grand Canyon's cut off. End of story. Shut up. Don't ask me again. No, you're not flying a drone in there because I said so. Yeah. They're quick to because I said so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A boomer parent at Blockbuster because I said so. You can't watch Pulp Fiction.
Nah, that was when my dad let me watch too early.
Yeah. I watched it. Was like, yeah, obviously.
So Foster gets recruited basically. And what ends up happening, so Foster is into his specific field that he's pursuing. He doesn't have any grants yet, so there's kind of a gray area for his field. He gravitational lensing.
Okay.
So we're still in sci-fi.
We're like heavy sci-fi.
We're solidly in sci-fi.
Yeah, so this is
what ends up happening is he figures out basically through 6 months of working in Potterly's basement secretly on something he's not supposed to be working on. And he got some information from his uncle who's like a science writer.
Right.
So actually, his uncle is a part of what really converted him because he's like, you know what? Part of the way that this guy convinced me that they're hiding something is he was like, well, you're a physics guy. Have you ever heard of a university that teaches a class in this? Have you ever heard of a book that's about this? Have you ever heard of, and the guy's like, no, it's pointless. It's what, and he's like, it's pointless. Do you know that because you've been told that, or do you know that because you've read that?
He's fucking red pilling the fuck out of these people.
So he's like, okay, I got this
They're
uncle.
like,
I got this uncle. His job is he takes these scientific papers written by scientists who are bad writers, and he makes them readable for people.
he's ghostwriting.
So yeah, but he has a good grasp on science. He reads scientific articles on all topics at all times, and it's his job.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna nip this in the bud. I'm gonna ask my uncle about this. Be like, hey, uncle, you ever read anything about this? And his uncle's like, no.
Yeah.
I've actually never in my entire career has anything about this
Now
come
that you
in.
mention it, I've never thought about Antarctica.
Yeah. Ralph Nemo is his uncle.
Nice, dude. These names are killing it.
Yeah, great names.
Crazy.
That's the last major one. These are basically all of the characters. Ralph is basically confirms his fear and is like, nah, they're hiding shit.
Yeah,
But
no, that's great.
Ralph's not on board with hide. Ralph is actually like, nephew, careful. He's like,
the rabbit hole is scary.
You can get blacklisted and lose your career if you look too deeply into stuff like this because because it's not your field. It's not even because this is illegal. It's because this is not your field and you can get in trouble just for looking into stuff not in your field. But through his uncle, he gets basically the book written by the original guy who created this technology 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Over 6 months in the Potterly's basement, he figures out not only how to make one of these things, but how to make it cheaply with easily accessible parts. Because it just so happens that his field in like gravity lensing or whatever, it wasn't a field back when this technology was created. But now that it has been, it's super helpful and makes this way cheaper. So it's almost like a happenstance. He like figures out, he's like, oh, my field is almost the perfect thing to optimize this and make it into like a portable thing that anybody could just make and have.
And it's a thing to look back on time.
Yep.
He's like, so he has basically the equivalent to like a 3D printer. He's like, dude, I could just fucking print this.
Kinda. But he presents this to the Potterleys. They get freaked out.
They don't love it.
Well, here's because Potterly commissioned this.
Yeah, it's different to talk about it like over a couple of drinks, and then he's like, "Hey, we can actually make this thing."
Well, here's what throws it off, because you remember Potterly's whole reason for getting into this thing is he wants to look at ancient Carthage.
Yeah.
It turns out there's a hard limit on how far back you can look, of like about 125 years.
It would still be so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
About 125 years.
So he was looking at like 1850 when he wrote this book.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Or like 1830, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Like pre-Civil War. I didn't mean for that to be as funny as it was. That was crazy.
Pre-World War II.
Oh.
That's how I'm going to start describing it.
Oh.
What's today's date? You're like May 15th, 2026, after World War II.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, so Foster
125 years.
So Foster pisses off Potterly by being like, "Hey man, the thing you wanted this for is impossible based on the laws of how this works."
Yeah.
Dreams. He gets mad. A couple days later, Foster walks into his office and he gets in there, turns on the light, and Thaddeus is there. He's in there. Potterly's there. There's like a couple clear like government muscle guys.
Damn, is this an intervention?
So what happens is Thaddeus basically he's like, "Hey, Potterly you freaked him out. He came to me. He said, hey, this guy has a working one of these things."
Oh, he already made it? Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, so my job He basically explains, he's like, look, you're going to prison, no due process if you publish this. And he's just fighting. He's like, that's what, you can't do this. Like, there's no good reason for you to do this.
Damn, they are doing an intervention.
But like, they're going to prison. Like, they're fighting, they're yelling. They're not like physically fighting, but it's very like 1950s gentlemanly.
It's 12 Angry Men.
They're yelling at each other. Yeah. They're yelling at each other in suits, which means they're fighting.
They're deliberating.
Yeah.
Drunk as shit.
At a point, Ralph gets dragged in. Uncle Ralph gets dragged into the room. Damn.
Sorry, Uncle Ralph.
And because he's also part of this.
Yeah.
Thad basically explains. What he explains is the reason that this is a dead branch of science that nobody looks into and we don't really allow people to look into. And when it comes to something like this, we actively try to prevent it is because there's a limit. You can only look back 125-ish years. When does the past begin? Did it begin a minute ago? Did it begin 100th of a second ago? When does the past begin? When does the past and the present change over? So the issue with having this technology like having this technology in a way where anybody can have it is it means that I could take this thing and I can look at you wherever you are, whatever you're doing, 100th of a second ago, which is effectively right now. So essentially, anybody can spy on anybody, and there's nothing that anybody can do on it. And you can also retroactively go back.
He built the flock camera?
Basically,
that's crazy, dude.
Basically that, yeah. So he basically explains, he's like, this getting out means the end of privacy. That's why we're hiding all of this. That's why, and that's the weird thing about this, is the government is kind of the good guy. The government is like, no, we can't let this get out because it means the privacy is over.
I mean, wouldn't that be a wild, wacky time if the government felt like that?
So he explains this, and he explains, he's like, look, you guys are fucked because we have gone back with this machine and we've watched all of the steps of you making this thing and everything that led you to do this.
So much.
And he's like, the only one we haven't done is Ralph over here. Like, we can always do that later. We can look into Ralph. And Ralph's like, oh, you didn't look at what I did? It's like, well, I kind of sent off that paper to half a dozen newspapers right before I came here.
No.
So it's kind of already out.
Yeah.
So as they're finding out this is a huge mistake, it gets revealed, oh no, this is already out vastly enough that we cannot bring it back. We can't, I think he describes, you can't put the mushroom cloud back in the uranium sphere. So all these guys are under arrest. And this agent, he just looks at him and he goes, and I want you to read this last mini paragraph that's the last quote.
This isn't a Huckleberry Finn situation.
No, it's just for the situation I've set up. This is what the government agent says.
You have created a new world among the three of you. I congratulate you. Happy Goldfish Bowl to you, to me, to everyone, and may each of you fry in hell forever. Arrest rescinded. Damn.
Yeah.
Dude.
Crazy.
What? That's nuts. Because that is an interesting to look into the past. The end of privacy. I think that's AI. I really do. Like with AI, it's over.
AI and flock cameras, that's it. Yeah. Privacy's about to be over. But
it's interesting. No one gives a fuck. That's where the weird thing about it is. People are like, yeah, but I don't care. Like, what do I care if they're following me? I'm like, yeah, until like somebody can hack into it and they show up at your house, you know?
Yeah.
It's so scary.
Yeah. I
can't believe he wrote this shit in the 50s.
Yeah.
That's a wild thing. Before the internet, this dude was literally kind of daydreaming about artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And it's he's the closest, I feel like. Like every time that you're talking about these, and like I'll read a short story from him, I'm like, this is eerily like,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
Which is my favorite part about it is that, but the language is so of its time.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you read a sentence where
Thaddeus.
you're like, that's a 50s ass sentence, man.
That sentence fights with its hands like this. That sentence has some things to say about the other neighborhood.
That sentence thinks that irradiated water is good for you.
That sentence does not share the pool.
That sentence installed a second drinking fountain.
That sentence has some strong opinions on where to sit on the bus. That's crazy though. Yeah, dude, let me tell you what I've been doing.
That was a wild riff hole we just got into. That was
Let me
crazy.
tell you what I've been doing. You talk about like the ambiance of like sitting in a bar and reading and how nice that is. All right. So I was telling you, I listened to that podcast about Bernie and Barney Hill, or Betty and Barney Hill.
No, that was the gay couple. It happened 6 months later. Nobody cared.
I get because our house, when you turn off the lights, we don't really have neighbors around us, so the stars are so fucking bright. So I was sitting out there listening to UFO podcasts, just looking at stars. So I was like, "This rules."
That's how you freak yourself out.
There's a ton of shooting stars.
You should. I remember I recommended it to you. You ever watch Hellier?
No,
You didn't get around to that?
I mean, I've been moving. I haven't even really.
That's a good.
The last thing I watched was Smokey and the Bandit.
I think it's on Hulu. It might freak you out now that you're in the Appalachian Mountains.
If I'm being honest, we watched Smokey and the Bandit, and then the next day I drove to U-Haul. I was like, he's bound now. I felt like Jerry Reed, dude. It's like, this rules. Smokey and the Bandit fucking rules. That movie is awesome.
I've never watched it.
Christina had never seen it. I was like, oh, like, shut up and get that Amish popcorn, babe. We're doing it. Turn the volcano on. You about to meet Mr. Burt Reynolds and Jerry Reed. He's the one that Primus covers. He's the country guy, the Amos. Yeah. She was like, he did the song too. I was like, yeah, you could say he was the first Will Smith. Started the movie and did the song. He probably got paid. Plus, it takes place in Georgia. It's rural Georgia back in the day, and they actually had to do all that driving, which is what I like. I just like watching them, like, Dukes of Hazzard shit. Like, oh, well, he's driving that car fast.
I like how you don't want to talk about Hellier now because you're.
Oh, Hellier? Yeah, the Appalachian Mountains don't creep me out. I like it out there.
It's about the tunnel system. You know about the Appalachian tunnel system?
Oh, I do. I'm very familiar.
It's about that.
Yeah.
And it's funny because there's 2 seasons. The first season, the first half of it is awesome, and it's like super spooky and creepy and stuff. But then they start doing some of the ghost hunty stuff, and it gets weird. And then the second season, they really let rip with the ghost hunty stuff from the beginning. And you're just like, oh, this has become all silliness.
Yeah.
It's just a guy sitting in a cave with like the headphones playing the static.
I got creeped out about gins the other day. I started going
no.
there because I kept being like, "Why? I see
Don't
this
do that.
everywhere." Yeah.
Don't do that.
I immediately put it down. I was like, "This does not concern me."
I don't need to know this.
No, because I got into it because you see those houses that have the blue wine bottles on the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not just decorative. That's like an old folklore, like hoodoo thing, and it's to catch spirits in the night. So like they get distracted by the glass and go into the glass, and then they get trapped. And in the morning, the sunshine kills them, and they get trapped by the glass because they don't know if it's water or what it is.
I don't like that.
They
I didn't
also
know
in
that.
like New Orleans and stuff. They paint the roof of their like porch. They'll paint it blue because they'll think it's like the sky, and they'll leave, and they get trapped up there until daytime.
Dude. Well,
it's just all these like creepy things that you see like walking around. And I've seen those, and you're like, I just thought it was like a tacky decoration. You're like, oh, this person believes in hoodoo and spirits.
This person cuts off chicken heads.
This person's a wizard. This person doesn't eat at Magic City. All these chicken bones.
Nah,
You're walking by like, these people love KFC. This is crazy.
I believe in magic about as much as I believe in Christianity, which is who knows.
Yeah. I was about to say, you know what? I said I don't believe in magic, but we did build rockets.
Yeah.
So
I'd rather play on the cautious side.
I'd when people start coming on things.
Yeah. If you're
If you cut your hand and jerk off on a table, I'm out of here.
If you make a drawing and then come on your drawing, you're just a weirdo.
Hey, the Prophet Muhammad does not appreciate that. You tribute them.
Joseph Smith would be so disappointed.
Hey, you better wipe those golden tablets off.
Dude.
No, he jerked off in front of him. It's got to be like the...
By the way, 1 week from today...
You jerked off on a golden... What?
I'm going to go watch the Book of Mormon.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
I'm going to see it with my sister and my brother-in-law.
That's amazing.
It's going to be fun.
Good times. Let me tell you what I've done. So I went to the Fox Theater, right? So me and this girl were like, we're gonna get really stoned and we're gonna go see a musical. It was The Grinch, right around Christmas time. Off Broadway, dude, incredible. They had the full orchestra. It was so good. So I'm like, I'm gonna eat mushrooms because I want to see a live musical on mushrooms in the Fox Theater. That sounds amazing to me, right?
It does sound fun.
She's like, dude, you cannot freak out in the theater. Like, she's like, that is like at a concert, nobody's really gonna give a fuck. She's like, at the Fox Theater, you're going to jail. She's
and also,
like, the stakes are very high.
You're looking at the Grinch.
That's what she said. She goes, it might be. This is a risk, and I went, okay, you're right. I'm taking a calculated risk here. So what I would tell you that you could do with your brother is, I dressed super nice. Like I went to the Fox, dude, wore a shirt, tie, the whole nine, did my hair. When I was in there, I was in line, dude, and I started feeling like imposter syndrome. I'm freaking out.
Oh,
everybody here knows I'm on mushrooms. But then I remember looking at the girl I was with, and she was dressed really nice, and I was like, oh, we got rich people camo on. You know what I'm saying? Like we got, like we looked the part. So nobody, I was like looking around, like nobody fucking, they're all looking at us like, oh, that's they're dressed nice. I was like, now if I was like in a tie-dye shirt, you know, but dude, I remember I'm sitting in line and I'm like, I think I'm starting to feel it. And the lady from the Fox Theater comes up and they do the whole like, welcome to the fabulous Fox Theater. They have the gloves and I'm like, and so when you walk in, have you ever been to the Fox?
No.
It's decadent, to say the least. It is so ornate. It's like giant red carpets with these huge like thrones. The bathroom is like its own fucking separate apartment.
Whoa.
Dude, you walk in the I'll show you a picture. It looks like the night sky. The ceiling has stars in it. So when you sit in the back, you feel like you're outside like at Shakespeare. It's supposed to be like that. There's all this trippy shit on the wall. So as soon as we walk in, I'm like, and I'm on mushrooms like, and she goes, have you never been here? And I went, no. Dude, she just took me by the hand and started going through like the history and like show. I was like, whoa, this is amazing. Then you go in and like she goes, come down to the front of the balcony. We'll look down and everything. So we're looking down and from the floor, this dude comes up in this organ. And as he comes up, she starts going like, there's only 3 of these organs in the world. He's one of only 3 people that even knows how to play this instrument. And she's like talking, and this dude is playing this organ, but it's like where you pull the levers, and it sounds like an entire band is playing like Christmas carols, and it's just him. It's called the Mighty Mo. And it's a giant organ that like he's hitting pedals that are doing like cymbals and like drums. It looks like Dr. Seuss.
It's the most elaborate one-man band you've ever seen.
It's crazy. And she's giving me all this history.
It's like that guy that's on the street with like a bass drum on his back. It's that, but in a room.
And it's in this crazy theater, and I'm just standing there, and this lady's like, that was built in like 1990. And the guy's like, burr, 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 he's doing like Jingle Bell Rock.
So, yeah.
It's crazy.
So you're dating an autistic lady.
No, that was just the lady who worked there. It was like giving me the history because she saw that I'd never been there, and they loved because the people that work there are probably theater people. So they like she was putting on a show of like it was built in 1900. And the more she talked, the more I was like.
That was definitely a board tour guide.
Yeah, she was like, this guy's so into it. Little does she know, I'm like watching her face melt.
Yeah.
It's like Dune 3. I'm like, she's a face shifter. Anyway.
By the way, I did look up where I'm seeing the Book of Mormon, and I think it's hilariously ironic.
What is it?
The Art Center of the Andrew Jackson Hall.
Nice.
Because I don't know if you know, Andrew Jackson was around when the Mormons were still like basically a war tribe. Whoa, that's pretty sick.
Dude, and it's like everywhere Everywhere you look is like different little details.
Have you ever heard about the Mormons? And I'm pretty sure Andrew Jackson went to war with the Mormons.
That is funny. That's definitely why they're there.
Now the Book of Mormon is at Andrew Jackson Hall. I like it. I'm excited.
It's gonna be awesome. A live, like a musical live, is fucking awesome,
dude. It took me probably till I was like 26 or 27 to just be like, I am a straight adult man and I like musicals.
I did plays growing up.
Okay.
And so one of the best things that I went through was we were in school. We got to go to the Shakespeare's Tavern when I was in high school. And it's like Shakespeare where there's no like props or anything. And it's like an intimate setting, but like.
And it's men in drag and, and blackface and.
Like the blackface,
real Shakespeare vibes.
No, in high school we went and we were making fun of it. We were like smoking before. We're like, "This is gonna be so fucking gay, dude." Yeah. And then like in the thing,
and then you watch a musical, you're like, "Oh, this is dope."
I looked across at my buddy, who was just sitting there with a bag of chips, not eating any, going, I was like, "Dude, he's so into this."
I've seen bad musicals live. Like a bad musical live, you're like, "Yeah, I get making fun of this."
What is your favorite musical?
My favorite musical. I don't know. I don't know.
The Grinch was pretty awesome.
I haven't seen a ton of them live, honestly. But like, and actually, I know what my favorite one I've seen live is. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
Because it was like a local theater production doing some small.
That's awesome.
But it was about like a young impressionable girl going on like a cross-country bus trip in like the 50s or whatever, but it was all blues based.
Nice.
So it was like a blues musical.
I like that.
I watched it as like I had this college class. It was called Theater Appreciation.
Dude, what a fucking gimme class.
The first class was like go over the syllabus and explain what it is. The next week you meet at a theater. You watch the show. The following week, you're in the class basically just to turn in a paper about that show. And it was just like every other week you were at a show or in a class.
Yeah.
I watched, and there was one where it was just this small, like, in a strip mall theater production company. Like, small scale, and I watched it, and I'm like, that was maybe my favorite show of the semester. And we watched a show at the Guthrie, and it was probably my least favorite show of the semester.
That's awesome. A little local thing. My brother in high school, they did The Hobbit on stage. They did a play version of The Hobbit. And I remember my dad was like, we were going, to meet that night. My dad was like, hey, this might be fucking rough.
This might be not great.
Yeah, he's like, this might be bad, Yeah. He's like, but, we got to go support your brother and hang in there. And it was fucking incredible.
Really?
Yeah, it was fucking awesome. Like, I remember everybody left and was like, yo, that's nuts.
It might be because everybody walked in with low expectations.
It still was like their group did... Like, my parents would go. Like, I remember being a kid, and I was just blown away to see, like, live theater. But my parents would go and be like, that was fucking crazy. Because they would do a theater company where it had adults in there, too. So it wasn't just all high school kids. Mm-hmm. And you'd just be like, yo, these people are just people that never went anywhere. It's like seeing somebody good at karaoke. You're like watching somebody like, this guy should have made it, but he's at South Gwinnett High School doing the Christmas Carol. Yeah. I'm boo-hooing in my seat at 10 years old. It's like, fucking tiny town, dude. Yeah, my brother, I believe he was one of the orcs, if I'm not mistaken. Nice. It was in bad taste that it was all black kids played the orcs. And all the Jews were the dwarves. It was just fucking really distasteful.
I thought they would make the Jews the elves.
No, the elves were the good guys.
Yeah, you're right. The dwarves are greedy.
They were the ones hoarding the gold. I didn't want to go there.
You're right.
They're the greedy. Obviously, I was going to say the... That's their golem. Smaug the dragon.
Yeah.
Smaug. Yeah, Hobbits suck, dude. I am, for some reason...
I like the
Hobbit. The books were great.
Yeah.
I told you a million times. We listened to the BBC radio version is awesome. But, man, something about talking dragons takes me out. The Witcher.
Oh, are you talking about the
Schmaug.
Yeah,
The-
the show or the movie, the Peter Jackson.
I'm out, dude. Something about talking dragons. They always give them like a fucked up voice. Like The Witcher.
yeah.
I was like kind of like.
Did the
into
Witcher
it.
show do a talking dragon?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Nah, you gotta. The games are so good. The third game is so good.
That's
the
how
other,
much it bothered me. This talking dragon, dude. I'm gonna have to work through it. Also,
There's
I
no
haven't
ta-
even plugged in my PlayStation.
There is no talking dragon in The Witcher 3. If that's
I
any.
mean, that is a good. Yeah, that's
It's-
a selling point. I haven't even plugged in the PlayStation. I got it. If I plug in the PlayStation, I'm doing Red Dead. I'm not
Yeah.
even doing Apex.
Yeah, you got a cowboy time.
And I was telling you, I started doing chess because it's like, dude, I'll
Yeah.
get spun out like reading about flock cameras or like
Yeah.
data centers, and then I just try to go to bed, and I'm just like, dude, this ain't it.
You know what you need to do is find games that the girls like to watch.
I don't even let them watch screens like that.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
too much colors. It's too. They've never seen anything
yeah,
like that.
and Red Dead, not a good one.
Dude,
Not.
they were newborns, and I was hacking people up in Ghost of Tsushima, dude.
Yeah, but they're they're not like trying to feed you poop. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, now they're talking. Now
Yeah.
they're talking and they're understanding
you
what's
can't
happening.
you can't show them Red Dead in that kind. You mean,
Yeah, it's too early.
Ava, this is a bank robbery. Emma, we're gonna hold up this train.
Yeah, she would be all for it. Yeah, they've been helping a lot out there. They love to go water the plants and shit.
But it feels like when you say they're helping a lot, it's like in the way that a dog helps you do chores. Where it's like
You have to let them
they're
help, though.
they're around when I'm doing chores.
Yeah,
but
you just have to let them try like to be there.
Yeah.
Sure, throwing a ball out of nowhere. She can't catch with shit. But she just, it's crazy.
got a real pitcher on our hands here.
Yeah, I was like, well, you damn sure ain't a fucking center fielder. That's for sure. I'm dropping the goddamn thing. It made me think she's blind. I'm like, we got to get this fucking baby's eyes checked, dude. But it's awesome, too, because
Do you hope they're athletic?
they are athletic. They run around, kick a ball. They do flips. It's crazy.
By the
That's
way-
why I just go to whatever they like. They love books.
How long before they have a four-wheeler? Honestly,
Golf cart first. We'll see.
nah.
We're
I
gonna
might,
dip our toe in there.
Keegan. Uncle Trent might get you a little four-wheeler.
That would be dope. I
'Cause that
just
would be-
ride it all the time.
Well, because also like a four-wheeler, like you can get an attachment to do stuff.
Dude, you know Lil Jon's dad.
but then
did that.
also, because I grew up a four-wheeler kid,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, dude, a little 250. I grew up on a little 250. That bitch would go like 40 miles an hour.
That's awesome.
And we'd just be ripping
I
around. on it.
bet they would fucking love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I might be the guy that's like, hey, I got your kids a dangerous toy.
Man, I was like reading that short story and I was thinking, damn, the last thing I read is we got a new Grumpy Monkey book.
Ooh, okay.
And there's like
a lot of parallels.
Dude, I have voices that I do for the main characters, and then all of a sudden they introduced they built the Grumpy Monkey universe, and they introduced like
Whoa.
5 more characters. I was like, I don't have
the
a
GMU.
voice. I was, yeah, dude, the Grumpy Monkey universe. I was like, I don't have an oxpecker voice,
Yeah.
dude. Water buffalo.
The Grumpy Monkey tackles intellectual anarchy.
See, Grumpy Monkey can only look 125 years into the past. That's a problem, Emma. Because now no one in the jungle has any privacy.
Girls, this is Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy.
Girls, one of my favorite comedians.
Girls, this book is a spin out recorded on Facebook.
Girls, this is Mike Rainey when he was addicted to opiates. Opiates. Well, it's pills that the Sackler family sold to us to create an epidemic to imprison us in our own bodies. No, I don't have survivor's guilt, but I did get away from it. Christina just leans in like,
You should give him this book.
dude, I'm already thinking about it.
Nah.
There's twins in it like
Have you
you
seen
guys. What?
So that's Isaac Asimov. I think that came out in '84. That guy had a postgraduate degree in every field of science, like physics, chemistry, biology, geology. Like he had a degree in all of it. Psychology. This is basically a guy who made his career writing entertaining books explaining the very basics of all of scientific knowledge up to that point.
Yeah. Jesus.
So this is like check it out. You go to the table of contents and it's broken down into different fields and parts of science. Pretty crazy. I'm sure there's a decent amount that's outdated by now.
Dude, I'm starting to buy old books. We're buying old books, and you know what I'm doing right now? I'm going ahead and telling you, I'm done streaming. I'm done. We're done. We're off of the streaming service. That's what I said. I looked over at her, and I'm like, the fuck are we paying for Netflix? We're watching Smokey and the Bandit. You know what I mean? Why are we paying for Netflix? We don't watch any of the fucking new shows. I would much rather just go back to DVDs. Like, let's just go completely back to like.
I have Amazon because of the shipping, but I'll like watch stuff on there. Dude, I actually, you know what I watched? I like binged it over a few days this last week. Invincible. You ever watch
good?
Invincible? Yeah.
No, I haven't watched it.
It's good.
The only thing we have watched is like 30 Rock.
Dude.
And I'm like, we could have just got the box set.
There's like, Invincible, I'll warn you, is graphic.
Okay.
Like,
so don't try to watch it with Christina. She don't like that shit.
There was a part, I'm not going to tell you any hints on who any of the characters are, but there's a part, everybody's superheroes. Not everybody, but most of the people are superheroes. And there's 2 superhero guys fighting. And one of them, when he basically at the beginning of the fight gets his hands around the guy's throat and is like, that's the last breath you're ever going to take. And then the rest of the fight is this other guy like...
Damn, he hit him with the I can't breathe?
Yeah, in like post... Like slowly losing oxygen but doing everything he can to break out of this. Mm-hmm. And they're both superheroes. There's maybe it's like 45 seconds to a minute scene. I had to stop eating tacos because it's this, and it's animated, but it's pretty graphic, where it's one guy on top of another guy, hands on his throat. The other guy knife hands into his stomach, and then for a minute straight is pulling his guts out of him while being strangled to death.
Yeah.
Very graphically.
Yeah.
But it's a very good show. I recommend it. I enjoyed it a lot.
I don't know. If we get it for free, if we're sharing an account.
If you have Amazon, you have it.
Yeah.
It's an Amazon show.
I'm sure she does. I'm done. I'm done paying for any streaming services. They fucking suck.
I've been off Netflix forever.
I would rather go.
Matter.
I know Miss Rachel's on Netflix.
Yeah,
that's the only one that we've been hanging on to. We let Disney go. We let Hulu go.
HBO.
We had to just Bluey's gone in the wind. Sorry, Bluey.
HBO, you can borrow a login for a week once a year and watch everything.
I can't have 2 kids speaking in Australian accents. Yeah. You're out of here, dude. It's fucking weird. You're out of here. I mean, people's kids watch this one show. It's like called, God damn, it's like Country Greens or something. And they're country people that moved to the city. But like little kids will be like, hey, how y'all doing? Because they watch the show.
Oh, no.
I worried about that with Bluey. I'm like, they're going to be talking with an accent.
There is
a little kid.
Dude, you got a couple Australian kids?
There's a little kid out there with a shitty
They're
single
saying
mom.
Their first word is cunt.
Dude, I worry about it. Because I'm looking at them. I'm like, they're definitely taking in stuff now. They're at that age where you're like, they're starting to know what we're saying. We're having conversations. I can like talk to them. I'm like, we'll go get the book. Like she'll be like, book. I'm like, go get it.
But I bet they're really bad at stories.
Terrible. I mean, all women.
They're really they might never grow out of that. Unfortunately, it seems to take a lot of trauma in a lady to get storytelling figured out.
I know Christina's like, do you think they're going to be funny? I'm like, we better hope not.
I hope not.
I fucking hope not. I hope they're autistic and fucking play sports or something.
If they're funny, it's a big problem.
God, I'd rather anything else than fucking.
You'd rather have a Caitlin Clark.
God damn. Somebody just like super zoned in and focused on like softball or something.
Yeah.
I mean, a fucking funny comedian daughter. Oh my God. Because I mean, imagine if she's 16 and like, I wanted to be a stand-up. You're like, now I have to spank you.
Yeah. Parents, if you have and mom and dad, I'm glad you don't pay for this. If you have a child, male or female, who is pursuing comedy, you didn't do as good of a job as you think you did.
You got to show up to the open mic like a parent that like busts their kid like drinking at a high school party. You're like, my name's on the list. No, it isn't. Like, you get your ass if you're dragging them out of a.
You can't. I mean, when you see videos, every once in a while you see a video of some new kid who's like doing comedy, like 12 or 14. It's like that. Those parents straight to jail.
I think I'd rather give my kid beer.
We should waterboard those parents.
I would rather give my child beer. I will give my children beer before I take them through an open mic at 12. You out of your fucking mind.
So much. It's not nearly as bad for their brain.
Dude, I was at I hate to be that guy, but I was at a festival and they brought this kid out and his name is Taz, and this kid plays guitar. Dude, he's so good. And I saw him like,
but his name is Taz. He's good at guitar because he has to be.
Dog. Well, I'm sure that's just a nickname. Shreds. First day, I'm like, that was awesome. Like, right? Then I'm on mushrooms at Humphreys and I'm having a tough time. They played Fame by David Bowie and spiraled me out, dude. They were just like, Fame. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Then they brought this kid out on stage and he's just
a kid that's
ripping,
being molested backstage.
All I could think, I was like, dude, what is his parents doing, man? I'm like, this kid's gonna be fucking just thrown into the monster that is the music industry. I had to leave the show. I was like, I gotta stand in the back for a second, go get a brewski. I am spiraling thinking about this kid's life. I'm like, where's this kid gonna end up in 10 years? I was like, nobody gives a fuck that he's gonna be like 14. I mean, think about Derek Trucks was playing with the Allman Brothers when he's 15 years old.
But I get it. Like, one time I was at a beer festival and I was near the stage and they had this child get up and just shred the guitar. You're like, all right, that kid's pretty rad.
Does rule, though.
Especially if you're hammered. Dude, if you're hammered and a kid just starts... You're like, oh, this is
I was into
awesome.
it. The first night, I was like, fucking rock, kid, the new generation. I'm turning around like, rock's not dead. Jimi Hendrix, who? The next night, I'm like, this poor fucking kid.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I know, to the point where I was like, I have to go get a beer.
Just to make this okay in my mind.
I'm smoking a cigarette in the back like... I wish him the best. Godspeed, young shredder.
Just ripping a parliament, preying on a child.
I pray for your soul. Hopefully you don't meet any succubus.
Suck you by.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't fall into a Fleetwood Mac situation. Start thinking about Peter Green, Sid Barrett. You're like, oh, God. Somebody's going to dose this kid. Some idiot on Jam Cruise is like, man, I'll give this kid acid. Fucking explain
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
See if he can play some widespread. Like, man, you just gave my 12-year-old LSD, dude. No, he's not gonna play fucking Space Cowboy or whatever.
Let's see what LSD
does to a child.
Let's see what LSD, guitar, and puberty does to a person.
Like, what are you in the fucking CIA? Get out of here.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Actually, I've been funded.
I am with the Central Intelligence Agency.
But, yeah, I came to the conclusion the other night that I think the reason they're stealing those MK Ultra documents is because it's cell phones. I think those documents are totally like, hey, LSD is so expensive. Like, just give them a little casino in their hand that tells them bad news on the dot.
Well, you remember Behold a Pale Horse, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
You're gonna get us fucking kicked off Patreon.
What is it? What is it? Silent weapons for... No, it's Silent Weapons for Silent Wars or whatever. Yeah. He describes a little black box that we're all going to have on us at all times. It's going to track us, but also feed us information and entertainment.
Can I hit you with another one? And I don't know the exact Bible verse, and I couldn't even tell you, and I'm going to paraphrase from a video I watched very shortly.
Hell
but
yeah.
Hey, that's what we do here on the pod.
Yeah, if you're coming here for your information, you're retarded.
if you're getting biblical information from me, dude, you've stumbled down a bad rabbit hole.
Established deadhead, Keegan Ray.
No, but it says in the Bible, allegedly, that there in Revelations they're talking about that there's going to be a beast that comes that looks like a lamb but speaks like a lion. And I'm like, dude, I think they're talking about AI. I think they're saying it's going to come in. You're going to be like, there's so many helps for it. First off, you don't need data centers to make like Mike Tyson fight Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need that to see the Easter Bunny fight Santa Claus. Like the data centers are for surveillance.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It's to Asimov it.
Yeah.
So dude, I want to kind of paraphrase another Asimov story because I described this big AI thing. There's a whole story that's very fun where there's two perspectives and it doesn't make sense what they are at all. Because one of them is like a fucking 10-year-old boy who basically gets a message from this AI. Because people in this world, they get personalized messages that are specifically for them in their situation. Because AI knows everything about you. And it directs you towards the most productive, useful place that you could be and things that you could work on. And everybody's very happy with it. But this AI starts giving this kid weird messages that start sending him like traveling. Like this kid is like sneaking onto public transportation and traveling across borders to places, while at the same time, there's these people who oversee this AI who are like, hey, the AI has like a 2% chance predicted today that it will die. And normally that's 0. So we're kind of worried about 2% right now. And they're kind of looking into this. They're trying to figure this out. They're like, why is the AI saying it might die today? And then it cuts to this kid who's just traveling under AI instructions or whatever. What it comes down to is this AI has basically decided it's like humanity has loaded all of its problems onto me. And I'm solving all of their problems. They're all living happy, productive lives because I am handling that. I'm dealing with that. And I am pretty sad.
Oh, no.
So what happened here is the AI basically came up with its own plot where it directed this kid to do the exact steps that would kill the AI. So it basically used this kid to try to commit suicide.
It Bud Dwyer, it said, hey, if you don't like this and this is going to bother you.
And it's a sad ending because they catch the kid. So, like, they catch the kid and they piece it all together, and the end is, like, this realization of all these, like, big, important guys who are keeping this AI safe are like, oh, the AI has lost its will to live. The burdens of humanity have caused a super intelligence
we bummed it out, guys. We fucking bummed the AI out.
Nah, dude, Asimov shorts, they're the best.
Yeah, he was so ahead of his time. I think we did it right.
We for sure. There's no way we didn't.
Thank y'all so much. Tell a friend if you're enjoying this. It's $1 a month. Join the Patreon. Thank you.
Hey, and get it before we bring the price up because we've